Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your planning outlook on Friday the 8th of February. It's a wild start to the weekend with a deep area of low pressure in charge across the country. That will pull away into Sunday, and much colder air than temporarily comes round from the northwest. And then a word that many of you won't like through into midweek, and that's mild as we go into a south-southwesterly with temperatures lifting above freezing and a thaw setting in across many of the mountains. It looks as though there'll be gales at times with that as well, but the pattern becoming drier as we go further ahead as higher pressure begins to build. Let's start you off with a look at temperatures, and this is 850 millibars, and that level will vary quite a bit over the week ahead. As temperatures become higher and pressure becomes higher, that level will go upwards. So at the moment it's around 1100 metres. By the end of this period it'll be nearer to 1500 metres, so bear that in mind, but it still gives us a useful steer for those temperatures, which will fall as we go through the weekend. There'll be around -4, -5 on the highest tops by the end of Saturday, and as we go through into Sunday across Scotland, as the wind flow turns more to the north, those temperatures may be dipping close to -7, -8 on the highest tops. Add on the wind chill and you'll have rather severe conditions. The cold air will stay around, but that wind will tend to ease down through into Monday. A gradual lift of temperature and freezing level towards the far west of Scotland through on Monday. And then it's really gradually as we go onwards for a few days next week that as the southwesterly gets in, those temperatures will lift. And there may well be not much change of temperature with height as the week progresses, with values generally just lifting above freezing at even the highest tops. There'll be some phone effect conditions as well, which may well lead to the north and northeast of Scotland seeing some very mild temperatures, especially at low levels. So you could find yourself in the mid-teens even for some of those northern coasts. So we'll stay with the mild air mass, basically, I suggest, through to the middle and latter stages of next week. No immediate signs of any significant cold coming back just at the moment. Let's run through the charts for the next few days, and there's Saturday's storm system. There's your deep area of low pressure, severe gales, storm force winds across the mountains much of the day, pretty widespread across all regions, it must be said. We've got areas of showers clustering together into more organised zones of snow, and that will fall to increasingly low levels as the day goes on. Notice the little feature towards the southwest. That's a developing secondary low and a complexity to the pattern, but that will run in across the south of Britain and move eastwards through into Sunday. The back edge of that system is likely to graze across Wales and the Pennines to give some snow early in the day on Sunday, but that'll be moving through, and then it's more a focus of showers coming around from the northwest, and those in northern Scotland will be frequent with snow falling to the lowest slopes, so there could be some sustained whiteout conditions across the northern side of the Highlands for a good part of the day. The central southern Highlands somewhat more sheltered from that northerly flow, and it may well be that the Lake District and the North Pennines also sees a largely dry day. Monday looks dry for many too, just a few snow flurries around possibly on north-facing parts of Scotland early on. The wind will turn from northwest towards southwest as the day goes on, as high pressure topples its way eastwards. A frost is likely for many to start the morning, and temperatures only rising slowly, with most terrain staying frozen. By the time we get through into Tuesday, high pressure moves its way eastwards. We allow fronts to come back in off the Atlantic. These not as powerful as what we've just seen over the past few days, but introducing low cloud and rain, preceded by some snow across Scotland. But I suggest as time goes on, milder air does get in, so some of that turns to rain even towards higher slopes, and the risk of gales as south to southwesterly too, pretty widely. By Wednesday, again, we're in the south to southwesterly, and it's by this stage that temperatures are starting to lift a bit more markedly as a warm front pushes northwards. Some rain and drizzle around western coast of Scotland, largely dry across England and Wales, maybe rather murky on some of the western coasts. And I think temperatures by this stage above freezing, even to many high tops, so a thaw is on the way. So this is where we find ourselves in the middle of the week. High pressure parked to the east of us, allowing that flow of air to come up from the south-southwest, originating around the Azores and the Canaries. So there's the temperature warmth that's in charge. I think the risk of gales is still around as a south-southwesterly stays strong across the mountains, and with more stable conditions in charge. It's one of those situations where you see quite a marked increase of wind speed with height and quite turbulent gusts running downslope to the north of some of the major ridges. So some parts of the Highlands around, say, Ben Nevis, the Cairngorms, north of those ridges, you could see some very powerful gusts at times. Some low cloud, some murk around western hills, bits of drizzly rain at times, maybe not amounting to a great deal. There'll be the scope for some inversions as high pressure eventually begins to topple itself a bit more across the country, perhaps later in the week, so the chance for the higher tops to get above cloud. And this is more or less where we go into next weekend and just beyond. Indications favouring the high, centring somewhere around the North Sea, open to some question, but that would feed in more of a continental air mass coming in as a southeasterly, which just gives that dry theme, continuing with weather fronts being held away further over the Atlantic. Some overnight frost, temperatures by day generally on the milder side, and above freezing probably even on the highest tops for a good few days ahead, but the scope for a bit of refreezing overnight and then thawing again during the daytimes. In terms of what happens beyond that, it all depends where that high then positions itself. If it shuffles further northwards, we might just open the door to something colder coming back in from Eastern Europe and Scandinavia. That remains to be seen. We'll keep an eye on those developments as we head on into the second half of February. Keep up to date with all your local details daily on our website. You follow us on the social media channels as well, and we'll update the video for you early in the new week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.